Okay, let's dive in. Today, we're grabbing a whole stack of insights, really focused on mastering one of TikTok's most powerful features, and maybe one that's a bit underutilized, the duet.
Right.
So if you've ever scrolled through TikTok, and wondered how some people just seem to explode, how they build on what others are doing, those viral chains, or maybe you just want to figure out how to make your own videos stand out more. Well, this deep dive is definitely for you. We're going to unpack the mechanics, the strategy, some secrets pulled straight from the material we've looked at, all about turning TikTok duets into like a personal growth accelerator.
Yeah, and what's really interesting, I think, is that the material makes it super clear this isn't just about chasing, the latest trend. It's more fundamental. It's about understanding the social core of the platform
Mm-hmm.
and using that connection for, well, real impact, sustainable growth.
Absolutely. Tapping into energy that's already flowing. Now, before we really get into the weeds with the tactics from the material, just a quick heads up. If you're thinking about giving your social profiles a bit of a boost, TikTok included, obviously there's a resource that comes up sometimes, rapidboost.net. It's basically a place people go for solutions to help with engagement, views, followers, that sort of thing. Just wanted to put that on your radar right at the start since it's part of this whole ecosystem. Okay, so with that mentioned, let's really unpack this deep dive into mastering TikTok duets. So, first things first, let's define our terms. When we talk about a TikTok duet, what exactly is it? What's the core idea?
Okay, so at its core, a duet is basically a split-screen video. You're filming yourself reacting or interacting somehow with another user's video that's already out there.
Hmm.
And the key thing is both videos play at the same time, side by side or top and bottom usually. It's really designed for that direct response or collaboration.
Yeah.
Or just showing your take right next to the original.
Got it. And the material we reviewed really hammers home why this is so much more than just, a fun feature to mess around with.
Hmm.
Why are duets such a big deal for growth?
Well, it taps right into how TikTok works fundamentally.
Hmm.
The algorithm, as the material points out, just loves interactivity. It loves originality, and it loves stuff that builds on trends. Duets, they hit all three. It's like instantly.
Okay.
So you get shared visibility with whoever made the original video.
Mm-hmm.
That alone boosts your chances for discovery, for shares, maybe even going viral. You're not just shouting into the void alone. You're plugging into the platform's social network.
Right.
And that interaction just multiplies your potential exposure, your engagement, way beyond what you'd likely get just posting solo content.
So you're leveraging momentum that's already there, putting yourself right in the conversation. And the source material gives some really powerful examples of this in action, right? The viral power.
Oh, absolutely. The classic one everyone knows is probably Nathan Apodaca, the Fleetwood Mac skateboard video.
Yeah, the juice.
Exactly.
Yeah.
When that just took off out of nowhere, thousands, millions of people duetted it. People added harmonies, they added dance moves, funny reactions.
Right.
And that wasn't just driving views to his video. That explosion of duets created this massive web of interconnected views across TikTok.
Yeah.
It became a cultural moment.
Right.
And it actually launched other creators who made really creative duets with it.
That's incredible. And the Stitch This chains, that's another angle on the same idea.
Precisely. Stitch is slightly different. You grab a short clip from someone else's video to start your video. But the principle is similar. By using Stitch to respond directly to a trending joke or a question or some kind of prompt, creators just inject themselves right into these huge conversations, often global ones.
Okay.
And the algorithm rewards that because you're actively playing along with what's hot.
Mm-hmm.
It drives organic growth because people find you through that chain of responses. So the big takeaway from the material here is pretty clear. Engagement fuels more engagement. Duets, stitches. They shift you from being just an isolated creator to being an active part of this whole viral ecosystem.
Makes sense. Okay, so before you even hit that duet button on someone else's video, the material says, hang on, there's some groundwork, stuff you need to do on your own profile first.
Yes, absolutely critical foundation. You need to set yourself up so that, one, others want to engage with you, and two, your own content becomes, well, dudable.
Right.
So first step, optimize that profile. The advice is clear.
Mm-hmm.
Complete bio, make it engaging, high-quality profile picture, and importantly, pin your best videos to the top, your most creative, most popular, or the ones that really represent you. That gives a strong first impression if someone finds you through a duet you made, and it encourages them, maybe potential partners or fans, to actually stick around and check out your stuff.
And it's not just about duetting other people's stuff. You got to make your videos something people want to duet with.
Exactly. That's the other side of the coin. If you want to spark that chain reaction, your own content needs to be inviting. The material suggests asking yourself honestly, Would I want to duet this if I saw it?
Good question.
Yeah. So good types of videos for this. Tutorials are great, open-ended challenges, clear calls to action, anything funny or relatable, obviously, and then more specific things like open verse tracks, if you're a musician, dance invites, or maybe prompts for product reactions if you're a brand.
And there's a text setting, right? Something easy to overlook.
Yeah, crucial. The material flags this as a common mistake. You have to make sure your duet and stitch permissions are turned on, either for your whole account or for specific videos you want people to duet.
Ah, okay.
If that setting is off, it doesn't matter how amazing your open verse challenge is, nobody can physically duet it. So when you're planning your content, think, does this invite a response, a remix, interaction? Can someone continue this? Those are your built-in duet magnets.
Got it. Duet magnets. I like that. Okay, so profile optimized, own content is inviting, permissions are on. Now what? Let's get practical. How do you actually record the duet? You find a video you like. Then what?
Okay, the steps are straightforward according to the material. Find the video you want to duet, tap the little share arrow icon. Then in the options that pop up, you select duet.
Simple enough.
Yeah, and then you'll usually see different layout options, like side-by-side, top and bottom, maybe a green screen or React layout.
Yeah.
You just choose the one that fits the idea you have for your duet. Then hit record and do your thing.
And using TikTok's own tools, filters, effects, that's encouraged.
Definitely. The material suggests using the native tools. They're built for the platform, they work well, they can add flair or help you kind of match the vibe of the original video. And while you don't need like a Hollywood studio setup,
Right.
the material does stress that decent production value matters. Crisp audio, good lighting, just being thoughtful about how you frame your side of the screen, that makes your contribution more appealing. And practice can be key too, especially if you're trying to nail timing for lip syncing or comedy or just matching the energy level of the original video.
Right. It's not just about showing up. It's about making your half look good, too. So it's clearly way more than just sticking your face next to someone else's content. The material really, really emphasizes adding value. What does that mean in practice?
This is probably the most critical strategic point in the whole thing. A great duet, according to sources, does at least one of three things really effectively. One, it augments the original. Adds a new skill, new information, builds on it somehow. Two, it reacts genuinely. Maybe it's funny, maybe it's relatable, maybe it's insightful commentary. Or three, it responds creatively, like taking up a challenge in a unique way or starting a conversation based on the original.
Okay, augment, react, respond.
Yeah. And the contrast is just, simply repeating or mimicking the original video without adding any of your own personality, context, or actual contribution. That rarely works. It doesn't add anything new, so why would people watch or share it?
Makes sense. Can you give maybe a specific example? Like if I see a dance tutorial.
Sure. So a dance tutorial goes viral. You could duet it by genuinely trying to dance and showing your struggle. That's a relatable reaction.
Okay.
Or you could nail the dance but add your own unique flair or maybe a funny twist that's more creative response or augmentation. Or if someone posts like a cool beat or instrumental, you could layer your own vocals, maybe a harmony or a rap verse, or even just spoken commentary over it. That's augmentation or creative response. Or maybe someone posts a video about a weird situation. You could duet it with expert analysis if you have it, or just encouragement, or even like a gentle, funny roast. That's insider reaction. The material actually points to the rapper at Officially Dax. He did this really well.
Oh, yeah. What did he do?
He would post instrumentals and explicitly say, duet this with your verse.
Oh, smart.
Super smart. Because then aspiring rappers or singers would jump on it, add their own verses, and sometimes those duets would go viral too. So it created this mutual virality. He provided the canvas, the value, and invited creative responses. Perfect example.
That is clever. Building community by giving them a starting point. Okay, so we understand how to add value. Now, how do we get strategic about using duets for actual growth? What are the materials recommendations there?
Right. So moving into strategy, the material highlights several key tactics. A big one is strategic trend targeting. This means you need to be actively watching your For You feed and the Discover page, like daily.
Stay plugged in.
Exactly. The key insight here is to find trending sounds, challenges, hashtags, whatever, and jump on them with your duets early. Don't wait until everyone and their dog has done it. Getting in while it's surging gives you a much better chance of riding that algorithmic wave.
And there are tools to help spot those trends, aren't there?
Yeah, the material mentions things like Trend Talk Analytics, but also just digging into TikTok's own analytics, which are free with a pro account. You can use those to find content that's surging specifically within your niche. The idea is to duet videos that are already showing some momentum, not just random ones. That maximizes your chance of hitting a relevant audience.
Okay, what about duetting with other creators, like collaboration?
Yeah, that's another big strategy. And you don't necessarily have to aim for, like, the Charlie D'Amelio level right away.
Probably not realistic for most.
Right. The materials suggest being strategic. Target creators may be slightly above your follower count or people in niches that complement yours. And the key is high-effort duets. Don't just phone it in. Put real thought into your response. Tag them clearly, maybe interact with comments on their original video too, show you genuinely engaged with their work.
Make it noticeable.
Exactly. And think outside the box a bit. Maybe duet someone's behind-the-scenes video with a, here's my expert take on how I do that angle. Or you could even respectfully remix a brand's campaign, add your own spin. The material points out that when the original creator sees you put in real effort, they're much more likely to share your duet or engage with it. And boom, that puts you right in front of their audience. Huge potential win.
That makes a lot of sense. And then you can kind of flip the script, right? Use duets to build your own community.
Absolutely. Invite your followers to duet your videos. The material highlights this as a really powerful community builder.
How would you do that?
Well, you purposefully create content that invites it. Issue challenges like show me your twist on this, or sing your harmony here, or finish this story. Make it super clear what you want them to do. And then, this is important, repost or shout out the best duets your followers create. Show appreciation, keep the activity going. You can even run like duet chains around specific themes, holidays, maybe a social cause, or if you're a brand, around your product. Like a makeup brand could run a challenge. Duet this showing how you use our new lipstick, and then feature the best ones.
Okay, cool. So we've got ideas flowing, we've made the duet. How do we give it the best possible chance to fly once it's posted? The material mentions some algorithm hacks or optimization tips.
Yeah, some practical things for maximizing reach. First, timing. Seems basic, but the material suggests posting when your target audience is most active. Usually evenings, weekends, but it depends on your specific audience. More eyes scrolling means more potential views early on.
Hashtags are also key. Use relevant ones, use trending ones, but don't just spam them. Quality over quantity. 3 to 5 really good, relevant tags tied to the original video. Your response, the trend, are usually better than 20 random ones.
Gotcha. And cross-promotion. Taking it off TikTok.
Definitely recommended in the material.
Huh.
Always shout out and tag the original creator in your TikTok caption. Increases the chance they see it and maybe share it. And then, yeah, share snippets of your best duets elsewhere. Instagram Reels, YouTube Shorts, maybe even Twitter. But the crucial thing is always credit both yourself and the original TikTok creator when you share off-platform. That way you might bring new fans from those other platforms back to your TikTok profile.
Smart. And encouraging interaction on the duet itself is vital, right, for the algorithm. Hugely vital. The material really stresses this. Ask for feedback in your captions. Ask questions. End your video with a prompt like, what should I duet next? Or, think you can do better. Tag me. That direct call to action signals engagement to the algorithm. And maybe most importantly, respond to comments quickly, especially in that first hour after posting. That initial burst of interaction tells TikTok, hey, people are engaging with this, and can really help it gain momentum.
Okay, that first hour is critical. That makes sense. This all sounds like it requires paying close attention, though, not just posting and forgetting. The material talked about analyzing and iterating.
Oh, absolutely. You can't just guess what's working. You need data. The material strongly recommends getting a free TikTok Pro account. It unlocks your analytics. You can see views, watch time, where your traffic is coming from, who your audience is.
Okay.
And the key insight here is to actively compare how your duets perform versus your regular solo videos. Which ones are actually bringing in new followers? Which ones get the most shares? Which ones land on the For You page? The numbers tell the story.
And there's a case study about this, someone who used the data.
Yeah, the material mentions a comedy creator at the Bashful Dawn. He was trying different types of comedy, and he noticed in his analytics that his parody song, duets, were consistently getting way more shares, like 3x more, and bringing in double the followers compared to his other skits.
Wow.
Yeah. So based purely on that data, he shifted his focus. He had prioritizing those parody duets, and according to the material, his growth really accelerated after that. It's a perfect example of letting the analytics guide your creative strategy. And the material also suggests actively asking your audience for feedback too. You know, which duet was funnier? Who should I duet next?
Mm.
Listen to constructive criticism, and just be willing to experiment constantly. Try different tones, different production styles, different types of videos to duet. The takeaway seems to be that the really successful duet creators are always tinkering, always trying new things based on what the data and their audience tell them.
Tinkerers, I like that. Okay, so we've covered a lot. Understanding duets, the prep work, adding value, strategy, optimization, analysis. How do we bundle all this up into like a practical plan? The material offered a step-by-step approach, didn't it?
It did, yeah. A really solid, actionable plan to make duets a real part of your workflow. You go something like this. 1, research and identify. Spend maybe 20 minutes each day just looking. Scan your feeds, discover page, find those rising trends, challenges, engaging posts in your niche that you could actually add value to.
Daily habit.
2, create Dudable originals. Once a week, post something specifically designed for others to duet with. Put out a challenge, an open verse, whatever fits your style. And double-check those permissions are on in.
Crucial check.
3, produce strategic duets. Aim for maybe 2 or 3 duets per week. Focus on those trending videos or content from relevant micro-influencers. And remember, jump on trends early. 4, promote beyond TikTok. Share your best duets on Instagram, Twitter, YouTube Shorts, etc. Always give credit, always link back.
Spread the word.
5, engage and stack interaction. That first hour after posting a duet. Be there. Reply to comments, ask questions, tag people if relevant. Build that initial buzz. And 6, track, analyze, pivot. Regularly check your TikTok analytics. See what's working, which duets get views, shares, followers. Then adjust your strategy based on that data. Change who you target, what style you use, how often you post duets.
That's a super clear roadmap. Research, create dudable stuff, make strategic duets, promote, engage, analyze, rinse and repeat. And the material finished with a challenge, right?
It did. Basically, it challenged the listener. Commit to making duets a significant part of your TikTok output for the next 30 days, maybe a third, maybe half your posts, and actively track the results. See for yourself what impact this strategic approach has on your growth. It's a very practical call to action.
Okay, so wrapping this all up, what's the big picture here? This deep dive, pulling from all that material, it really shows that TikTok duets aren't just some random button. They're a potential growth engine, but only if you use them intentionally.
Exactly. If you understand why they work with the algorithm, if you focus on genuinely adding value, if you strategically tap into trends and collaborations, and crucially, if you pay attention to the data and adapt,
Yeah.
you can genuinely scale your presence much faster than just relying on solo content. It's all about collaboration and leveraging how the platform is actually designed to be social.
Yeah, the key takeaways really seem to be get your own house in order first with your profile, make content you'd want to duet, be strategic about who and what you duet, engage like crazy, and let the data be your guide.
For sure. And, stepping back, even though we focus on TikTok, these core ideas, they apply way more broadly. Adding value through response, collaborating strategically, engaging your community actively. That's a powerful formula pretty much anywhere online, not just short-form video.
That's a great point. It's about smart social interaction. Okay, so final thought for you, the listener, to mull over, based on everything we've discussed from the material. If it's true that your next big boost, maybe even a viral hit, could be just one duet away, what existing video out there right now, maybe it's trending, maybe it's just popular in your niche, could you immediately add value to with your unique skill, your perspective, your reaction? What's waiting for you to hit that duet button?